like to welcome you and introduce you to the study meeting of November 17th, 2025. Welcome, everyone. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by the Honorable Scott Morgan and members of our Boy Scouts. What troop are you? 1382. Okay, very good. Well, welcome.
Make your way up a little bit, and we're going to stay right up here.
Hats off, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job, guys.
All right. Did you guys want to do? Did they want a picture with us, or? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come on, right up here, guys. We'll just stay right here and get a picture with you. Well done.
I'd like to point out that this is one of my students.
Oh, wow.
Wow. She's starting and ending the day with me.
Look at this.
Oh, we're staying. Are we going around or we stand back?
We're just standing.
Oh, we're staying back right here?
All right, ready? Awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
They're like, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, Drake's got math homework.
Well, great job to that Boy Scout troop, and thank you all for doing what you do. Thank you so much. Good luck. Well, good evening, everyone. You may notice this looks a little different, and thanks to our council president, our council vice president, and then the next senior member, none of them wanted to chair the meeting tonight, so I got stuck doing it.
Stuck.
No.
It is a pleasure doing it. I've always wanted to do this, and our council president was nice enough. So thank you very much, and looking forward to messing this up a few times tonight.
We got you.
This meeting sets the agenda for the 2030th regular meeting, which is a voting meeting that will take place on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, where tonight's items will be officially voted on Wednesday, December 3rd. There are no council absences this evening, so we're going to go straight to audience communication. You will get 3 minutes to talk about anything that is not on this evening's agenda. And Council President McCullough will be taking the time. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record.
Yes, Steve King, Coventry Gardens Block Party. Laura, I don't think you read the amended ordinance.
Probably not.
3,
Do me a favor and address the comment.
administrative approval.
Thank you very
According to
much.
Scott Barr.
Upon receipt of a complete application, the city clerk, in consultation with the police department, fire department, and Department of Public Works, shall issue a block party permit, provided that the proposed event does not present a threat to public health, safety, or welfare. B, issuance of a block party permit under this section shall be deemed a ministerial act and shall not require formal action by the city council except as provided in subsection 4. Subsection 4, any request for a waiver of the city noise ordinance, extension of hours beyond those otherwise permitted, or deviation from other applicable ordinances shall require approval by resolution of city council. If you actually read this, everything you said was addressed. Number 2, leaf pickup was a disaster this year. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's been bad for years. You go over in the 5-mile section, there are leaves piled 5 feet high. That is a safety hazard. A kid hiding behind those leaves goes running out into the street. I am on a main road. I'm piled 4 feet high. When those leaves blow across the windshield of the car going by 50 miles an hour, that is an issue. This needs to be revisited. I was walking the campaign trail. People were saying, why are these trucks coming down the roads? Not a single leaf has dropped. So let's revisit it. Open house. I was at the Ford World Headquarters open house. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the one at the Senior Wellness Center, which I'll get into at a later date. Ford's World Headquarters, 2.1 million square feet, finished on time, on budget, ADA compatible. The Wellness Center, we have an ADA advocate in this city who should have been at the table throughout this whole process. The Senior Wellness Center is in violation of many ADA compliant things that are necessary. And she has a whole list of them. She's got a video she's putting out there right now. And so I guess she's going to court over this whole thing. Rob's motion to raise the courthouse and senior center, to knock down these structures, how can you compare the old senior center to the courthouse? The courthouse is a viable structure. It's beautiful. We put a brand-new HVAC system in it before we shuttered it. The old senior center is a disaster. It leaks. It's been terrible for years. So please separate those two items. Knock down the old senior center. Yeah, please, knock it down as soon as possible. The courthouse is a beautiful structure, which the court does use. They actually use this structure. So please reconsider that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Any additional audience communication for items not on the agenda? We set aside 30 minutes. Anything else? Okay, audience communication is over. We are going to go to council announcements. Anyone from the council? Council Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like.
You.
You're welcome. I would like to make a motion to waive the room rental fee at the library for Councilwoman Bazinski's monthly coffee hours. This would be from January of '24 through December of 2026.
Support.
Okay, there's a motion, and that item will be, would that be referred to the next regular meeting for the law department to draft
Yes, please.
ordinance language? Okay. So any audience communication about that?
Just to clarify, resolution for the next meeting or ordinance?
Resolution, yeah.
Okay, any additional comment from the council on Council Vice President's resolution to the law department? All right. Council, any more additional council communication? All right, there are no additional, no more council announcements. I will announce that there is new data on item number 3. Item number 3 under new business. And without further ado, we will go to the new business. Item number 1, request to extend contract with Ali Brothers, Inc., a division of the Police Department, for a period of 3 years with a 3% increase in order to supply police department uniforms from budgeted funds. Good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see everyone again. Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the police department is requesting to extend the contract for our Ali Brothers uniform provider. They've been our vendor since approximately 1994. The original contract began on January 1st of 2020. At the time, Ali Brothers was the only company that responded to the solicitation for sealed bids, and that was in late 2019. The contract was approved for a 2-year extension, and that extension will expire this year on December 31st. Ali Brothers is willing to extend the contract conditions for an additional 3%, for 3 years at a one-time 3% increase to offset inflation. We're asking that the city waive their sealed bid process and renew the current contract extension.
Mr. Chair.
Madam Councilwoman.
Thank you. They've been doing business with us forever, and they're very reputable, very on time, blah, 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 right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, I'll offer an approving on consent.
Okay, there's approving on consent. Any objection from our colleagues? There's no objection from our colleagues. Congratulations, sir. You can come to the next meeting if you like, but your matter is all but sure to be approved.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to item, any comment from the audience? Anything from the audience on item number 1? All right, no comments from the audience. Item number 2, request to waive the formal bidding process and approve, sorry, the council president is looking at me, so I'm making sure I'm doing the right thing here.
Doing great.
And approve the renewal of a sole source professional services agreement, division of the police department, for a term of 3 years with Brett M. Newmanchef of the Michigan Police Legal Advisory Group from budgeted funds. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chair Donovic. How are you tonight?
Very good, sir. How about you?
Good. I'm good. Tom Goralski on behalf of the Police Department. Good evening, Council. This is a extension essentially of a contract we started 2 years ago with Brett Numchuff and his company. And if you remember, when he came in, Scott Barr was a councilman on it. And he has some questions about how well it would go. And in the last 2 years, I can assure you it's gone extremely well. He helps us with every policy update. We have consistent training with all of our officers because he is there training everyone every day. He has been a boon to our department for best practices, accreditation, and so many other things within our department. And I'm happy to report that he's willing to do another 3-year stint at the same pricing. So for 3 more years, we'll get the same service, and it continues to really help our officers be better prepared for the streets. I will also add that we did do an MMRMA grant, which is our provider, as you know, for him for the last 2 years, and they granted it half of the contract. They are paying that now too, and we expect that going forward. So we're excited about that too. So I'd answer any questions you'd have.
Council, any questions for Chief? Councilman Morgan.
Nope, I'll offer an approving on consent.
Okay, there's approving consent. Any additional comments from the council? Anything from the audience? All right, nothing from the audience. Chief, you have an approving on consent, and I imagine it will be approved. Congratulations. I will note for the record that your captain is not participating in No Shave November, and you are, and it looks great. Thank you, sir.
Partially. Thank you, Chair.
You are welcome, sir. All right, moving on to item number 3, award of contract from the Finance Department to provide limited accounting and financial services due to department vacancies in a not-to-exceed amount of $70,000 from budgeted funds. Good evening. Your name and title for the record, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin Greer. I am the Finance Director. This evening's request is for a contract for up to $70,000 with Plant Moran Governmental Accounting Services, known as PM GAAP, to provide limited accounting and financial services for up to 4 months. The contract has an option for an additional 2 months for and up to another $24,000 at the discretion of the mayor. I'll provide an overview and I'll quickly go into a few of the details. As you may know, the Finance Department is facing significant understaffing. We are short 2 key positions, the chief accountant and the assistant chief accountant, and we also are short at the clerk's at one of the clerk level positions and the capital planning manager. There is a lot of people who are there are new, including myself. And there's an overall lack of institutional experience. What we are requesting to do is to bring Plant Moran Gap in here. They have a business line where they provide in-house staff for municipalities across the state. In addition, the Plant Moran has 49 years of institutional experience doing audit work and other work for the city of Livonia. I think this proposition makes sense from a fiscal standpoint. It will cost about $70,000 for the first 4 months, yet the savings, it's budget neutral, yet the savings will be about $113,000 because you reduce the level of staff that you will need. Basically, they're replacing the staff while we hire up, while we find people to fill these roles. The question is why PM Gap? PM Gap will provide 2 experienced CPAs to do work that would normally be done by our missing staff in the department. The engagement has adequate guardrails such that the audit team won't lose their independence because of the work that they're doing. First of all, is no staff overlap, and they will not be auditing their own work, so to speak. Another thing here is that a big component of this is just not doing the work, but it's coaching. We are a young department in terms of experience. We have several key accountants in new positions, including myself. So part of the team that they're bringing over is a relatively junior level CPA and another CPA who was a former finance director with the city of Birmingham. As I've indicated, this move will reduce overtime costs for my staff, which tend to be front-end loaded, beginning December through March. So that will significantly reduce the overtime cost. Another big thing here is there will be a cleaner year end and lower audit costs. The next item that I'll be talking about is some cost that we need to cover basically overruns and out-of-scope items that were caused with the 2024 audit because of a number of different factors. There's basically two primary factors. There was a new requirement regarding documenting in the audit work the internal control procedures, and because we were down a person, an assistant chief accountant, basically a lot of the work associated with the close ended up being done by the audit team at a much more of a cost. And this is a crucial time of the year. You know, the bulk of the audit is done in the next 4 months. And I don't anticipate that we will have anybody here that we will have, and we're trying to find the people for these roles, but based on what's happened so far, I don't think it's going to happen. I mentioned the savings. I mentioned the fact that we need time to get the best candidates in here. One of the big things that the PM GAP team provides is institutional knowledge that many of us on the team right now don't have. So if we want to build a team that could be successful in the future, and you can't quantify the benefit of having experienced people in here showing us and giving us some coaching. The city of Livonia has an excellent reputation in terms of on-time and clean audits, and with the current staffing right now, it's making that difficult. And the last thing I want to point out in that regard is that the morale. One of the things that I saw as soon as I came in here, we have dedicated people who want to do the right thing, but they're getting burned out, and that's the last thing that I want. I mentioned the cost. This is for $70,000, it's going to save 113, just under 113 in salaries and overtime. I'm going to stop here. I have Keith Shemansky from Plant Moran here who can, between us, we can answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Greer. We're going to go to Council Vice President first, and then Councilman Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually had the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Greer a couple days ago and learn more about this whole program. And really, this is a fiscally responsible solution to help us bridge the gaps caused by these high-level vacancies that we have right now. And like you said, the cost is offset by the salaries that we're not paying and the benefits and all that until we can find the chief accountant and assistant chief accountant. In the meantime, the work that we need done is critical. I mean, it's critical to our city's functions, and we need time in order to find the best candidates for this. So the workload is intense, and we need to do what we need to do to get this required work done. So we need to do everything we can to maintain our strong financial reputation, and we are going into audit season, which will be presented, in the springtime. And we've always had a great audit, and we want to make sure we continue down that pathway. So I'll let you guys all answer your questions, or ask your questions, but I'm going to offer an approving on consent.
Okay, there's been approving on consent. I know there's some conversation, so we're going to go to Mr. Morgan and then Councilwoman Toy, please.
Yes, Mr. Greer, just a couple questions here. I realize this is about, $210,000 a year. Do we expect this to go on for an extended period of time, or, even if we do hire people, it's going to take a little bit of time to get them trained up properly, and what is your time frame for this? Just projected. I know you can't narrow it down exactly, but, what are you thinking in your mind?
The goal is to have it done within 4 months, but based on what happened so far, we've put it out there, and it's been difficult to get, what we're looking for in, or we had to make some changes. So the goal is 4 months, but I would target the 6 months.
Okay, and is the people that are going to be helping us with this from Plant Moran, are they going to be in their Plant Moran office, or are they going to be here in our office, taking a look at what we have?
Both. They're going to have people on site, but also in the office.
Okay, and is this an 8-hour day type of thing that we're paying for two people to come in, or is this as needed type of?
It is definitely as needed, and if they're not needed, they won't be there and they won't be billing under this contract. It's up to the $70,000.
Is it broken down on an hourly rate of some type, or is this a monthly stipend?
No, it's an hourly rate for the time of the Plant Moran professionals. But we think, given the time, it will fall within the, it will definitely fall within the $70,000 for the first 4 months.
Okay.
And we will be very cognizant of spending the city's money on this and
Right.
aware.
Well, I guess my question to you is if we're saving money using Plant Moran, I mean, what would be, your position as the financial director to continue this on a permanent basis? Is that something that,
I mean, that is
because we're
possible.
saving money, we're saving 3 people, we're paying 2, and we're saving what did you say, $13,000? So you may be working yourself out of a job, right? Just a thought.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at it like that, but, and I just off the cuff, I don't think that that's true. I don't think that there would be those same savings. That once we get up to speed, I think we could do it just as efficiently
In-house.
in-house.
Fair
That's
enough.
the whole purpose of this, about building a department for the long term.
Okay. I just wanted to get that out there, and I also wanted to make sure, if we're heading in the direction of another company taking over and kind of doing our finances, if that was something that had been thought about.
No.
Okay. Very well. Thank you, sir.
Julie?
Yeah, along those same lines, my comments were going to be as such, because we've had some serious issues within that department, and when it's handling our money, as this department does, and you being new to us, to the city, et cetera, then it begs of new ideas and new direction for those perhaps ways we're either doing the business or whatever. And you're shaking your head, and I know when you answered Scott's questions, you seem to be open to that kind of venue of things. Am I not correct on that, sir?
I think that would be fair to say. I
Okay.
think that's something that I've done before, is bring new ideas when I come in new.
Super.
So that is definitely a good idea.
Yes, it's good to hear. I like the cost savings at this time, and as my other colleague, Martha, suggested, this is a very fiscal responsible way to go at this particular time. I would hope that we can get things in line, and, I commend you for walking into a situation that's less than perfect, because we are perfect. No, I'm teasing. But in many respects, sir, I appreciate that, and I would hope that Deb is helping you out. I think she's still on retainer, if I'm not mistaken. So that should help a bit, too, because she did her job quite well from all aspects, it seemed. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your hard work on this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Council Vice President?
Thank you. I just had a point of clarification with Director Gear. And I think Mr. Morgan said a few minutes ago that we were saving $113,000. That's the amount we would have paid those positions, but we're still going to pay 70. So we're really only net saving about 43,000. We're not saving 113. We're just not paying those salaries.
Right, okay.
I just, it sounded like we were saving 113,000, and that would be, of course, why would we hire anyone? But it's really only about 43, which is still a significant amount, but I just wanted to make that point of clarification. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman Buzinski.
Yes, welcome to Livonia. It's a fun place to be, and we'll definitely keep you busy. And I'm sure we will also be keeping Plant Moran busy for the interim as we look for a permanent position. I know you mentioned some of the challenges in getting high-quality applicants for these openings that we have currently. And so I just wanted to say, that if there are, we are routinely talking about being competitive and attracting top talent in our community, and kind of what we need to do to meet those standards of our surrounding municipalities. So just to state that if there are things that the finance department feels or HR feels that need to be done, I do think it's important to bring it to council sooner than later, because I think having that institutional knowledge, one that we've lost, it's super impactful. You know, I mean, we've had perfect audits or near perfect audits for a really long time. You know, you're coming into a really tricky situation. You're not just jumping into a new spot. You have a lot of, you know, empty seats on the boat that you're looking to row. So however we can help and support, you know that we're here, and not always as scary, perhaps.
You're not scary, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Councilman Good? Councilman Morgan?
Yeah, Mr. Greer, I just wanted to clarify a couple different things. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and, you know, I mean, I am the scary guy. So
So true.
this situation, I mean, I wanted to put it out there because I don't feel this is excessive. I think this is probably very reasonable. You're new, and there's a lot of moving parts to the finance. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't going to be a long-term thing where we ended up getting rid of our finance department and leaning it on someone else. That was my point, and sometimes I just don't clarify those things as I should. So that was my point. So, all right, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Any additional comments from the council? Director Greer, thank you for being here this evening. I would like to note that while you may be new to the city of Livonia as our finance director, you have a long history and level of experience in the finance sector, but you are new to Livonia. And after having a few discussions with you, it's accurate that we're not looking to privatize our finance department, simply filling a temporary mandatory role. We have to get our audits done. This work has to be completed. And unfortunately, two people left for other jobs. That happens in every career, and we have to find people to fill those roles. And while we're looking to fill those roles, someone has to do this legal work, and Plant Moran Gap is going to do that work while the HR department is trying to fill those roles.
That is correct.
Great,
And I
sir.
want to fill those roles so I don't have to come back and
Great, and like you, yeah, and as you noted earlier, Mr. Szymanski's here from
Can't
Plant
blame
Moran, representative there. So council, any questions for the Plant Moran representative before we go to the audience? Okay, there are no questions. Thanks to the PMR representative for being here. Thanks, Director Greer. We're gonna go to the audience. There is, a resolution has been offered for an approving on consent, and there is no objection, so we're going to go to the audience. Name and address for the record, and President McCullough is going to keep time for 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Denise Micah, Livonia. This is deja vu to me because in August, I believe, and I couldn't look up the date because I don't get great Wi-Fi here, that Debbie Lichtenberg came up and asked for $43,000 to cover people that were, you know, the soft cap measure with people not being in those jobs. And so now it looks like it's another $70,000, and I believe Councilman Morgan had shown us at one of the breaks, this is where you look for the job openings and everything. Do you remember that? And there was nothing posted at that time. And so we were under the impression that they were going to go out and do that, and I think Jim's going to talk to that. The other thing that kind of confuses me is that the document that it was attached says there's 2 finance directors for Livonia, and I thought we only had one. But if you look at the memo that actually Carter Fisher also signed, and has 2 finance directors. So that's kind of confusing to me. So if somebody's a consultant, why would they still have the title of finance director? So are we paying 2 finance directors jobs? So anyway, I can show you, it's on one of the attachments. I'm looking at it from the meeting. So I'd like to know, but I don't know if anybody can tell me, what happened to the 43,000, and now this is another 70,000. So to me, do the math, it's over $100,000 we're asking to fill these spots. And are we actively going to get people to fill these positions?
Okay, that's time. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Any audience communication? Good evening. Council member-elect, 2 minutes, a name and address for the record, please.
Eileen McDonald, Livonia, Michigan. I just would like to comment to Mr. Durr. It's Durr, right?
Greer, Mr. Greer.
Yes. Welcome, and I look forward to working with you. As you know, I'm going to be new in January, and it's been a while as I'm being experienced in city government. But, you know, it takes time, and it's a transition. And even though you have, you know, years and years of experience, you still have to learn. And you still have to understand, you know, the hiring process and finding people that are qualified and that could fill in these positions on a permanent basis. And I'm sure Mr. Durr is going to do his very best to make sure that we do get those candidates. So anyway, Mr. Durr, don't worry, we'll be fine. And we look forward to learning more. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman-elect, appreciate it. Good evening, sir. 2 minutes, name and address for the record, please.
Jim Bigga, Livonia, Michigan. Thank you, acting, whatever you're acting as.
Tried my best.
I'm looking at the city website, and it's interesting to see the only position we're looking for right now is a seasonal clerk in the city treasurer office. I would think we would be having constant looking for people in different positions. And as I said in August, I really am surprised we aren't seeking out local CPA firms to hire out local people instead of Plant Moran.
Good point.
Plant Moran is a nationwide firm. Livonia has many CPA firms, many of whom have people that they've contracted out, just like Plant Moran has. Also, as a former chief financial officer for the U.S. Army Tank Automotive Engineering Command, I had budgets over $700 million. We were told, never hire accountants from a company who does your audits. That's number one no-no. That's like having, you know, somebody looking at your cookie jar who's in your cookie jar. You don't have the same people doing your financial audits for the year, putting the documents together and making sure your accounting information's in the right spot. That's not something you should be doing. It doesn't pass the common sense. You go to Ford Motor Company, they're not hiring accountants from the same company that does their year-end accounting. You go to General Motors, it's not the same way. You go to any big Fortune 500 company, they try to keep that stuff so separated so that there's nobody going to say there's a conflict of interest. And you guys in this city keep going to the same companies. We see the same people, but we don't see a lot of local businesses. This is Livonia, family first. Livonia, we're here to go to small businesses. You go to Alley Brothers for clothing. You go there for how many years have they been in business? You keep touting about how great they are, but we're going to go to Plant Moran, who's got these big buildings in Southfield, in Auburn Hills. They're all over. They're all over the country, but we're not sticking with local businesses. That's your first mistake. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any additional comments from the audience on this item? No additional comments. Council, any additional comments? Council Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple things. The double finance director, that's listed because our new finance director, Benjamin Greer, had just come on, and Debbie Lichtenberg is kind of going off. She's still on retainer, very small retainer as a consultant right now, but at that time, they were both basically like in an overlap position. So while one is onboarding, the other is kind of offboarding, that's why. So we don't really have two per se. Honestly, any CPA firm could apply. We would welcome a local CPA. If they want to come and work for us, we'd love to have it. No one's blocking them from coming in. This PMR gap is just to fill the gap right now that we have. Unfortunately, we are down a chief accountant and an assistant chief accountant. We've got to have them. Now, we can talk to this. The audit division and the PMR gap, or the PM gap, they're separate. They can't, there's no commingling there. So we have the guardrails in place. They can't. Totally different divisions. Plant Moran has been working with us for 49 years, and we've had great ratings during that time. Year after year after year, we are one of the highest rated municipalities around. That's why we go with them. Our audit is spot on year after year after year. They have that institutional knowledge that they can help our new people with, and that's also why we go with Plant Moran. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Any additional comments from the council? No additional comments. I have a question for the PM GAP representative. Name and address for the record, please.
Keith Schmansky, 36100 Allen, here in Livonia, Michigan.
I will note you're a Livonia guy.
As are 3 other members of the city's audit team.
Very good. So there was a question talking about that, the overlapping, and I know Council Vice President, who's also the Finance Chair here at the City Council. So those 2 divisions are completely separate of one another?
They are. And in particular, the scope of services PM GAP will be performing is very specifically tailored to limit any potential independence concerns. Their number 1 objective is coaching and training of the staff that are in place. Mm-hmm. So when those individuals are here on site, their number 1 priority is to answer questions and help direct the current city staff in the right direction. With any available time that they have, they will be assisting in compiling data from existing city records into the format that's needed for the audit, but they are not creating any work products themselves.
And PM GAP stands for Governmental Accounting Professionals, correct?
Correct.
So the whole objective of GAP is to work with municipalities. These are accountants specially experienced to work with municipalities, to help them train, to help their accountants work, which is vastly different than your typical CPA you hire for your taxes and whatnot.
That's exactly right. Most of the individuals in PM GAP, and specifically those assigned to the city's engagement, are either past auditors in our governmental practice or individuals that worked at municipalities.
And your auditing division brings me to the next question. They're of the most respected auditors in your industry, and you guys have a long track record of auditing municipalities. Can you kind of dive into that a little bit?
We're the largest CPA firm in the state of Michigan. Every 3 years, like other firms, we receive a peer review report. We have, in our most recent report, received the highest level, a pass, without any deficiencies.
So you can say you take auditing very, very serious.
It's our number 1 business. We put our reputation on the line with every audit report. We take it extremely seriously.
And I personally know that as one council member, your organization conducts our audits every year, and I've emailed various staff on your audit team, completely separate of the mayor's office, asking very detailed questions of our audit. That's our number 1 obligation and responsibility as this council is the check and balance of the administration and our budget and ordinances. So I know your audit team has been very responsive to my asks that are always very direct, right, and making sure that we get those answers. And as one member, I can say your audit team has done a very good job and very thorough. I also know former Councilman Scott Barr, which I would argue is probably a CPA or an audit specialist himself, even though he's not educated for that. I know in years past, he was our finance chair and worked very hard with your audit team. And I know we have a long history of very clean books and very good audits. Is that correct?
It is, indeed. And we appreciate the robust discussion we have with the Finance Committee each year.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Council, any additional questions? Okay, we already went to the audience. There is a motion, a resolution to approve on consent. There was no objection, and that will go to the next meeting. Okay, moving on to item number 4. Item number 4 is to request to authorize additional expenditure from the Finance Department, additional accounting services related to the financial audit for the year ended November 30th, 2024 from unexpected funds. Good evening, Director.
Good evening, Benjamin Greer, Finance Director, City of Livonia. This request is for $45,000 to cover out-of-scope services with respect to the 2024 audit. And what, we talked in the previous presentation about lack of experiences and a lot of institutional knowledge being lost. Last year, there were some overruns for 2 primary reasons. The first reason is that there was a new auditing standard, SAS 145, which required that the auditors document the municipalities internal control procedures. That was very new for the first time last year, and it had to be done not just in Livonia, but really across the country. And so that was part of it. Another part of the overruns were just the fact that staff, because there were missing people and there were new people and there were changing people, did not have some of the work done in time, and that work had to be picked up by the audit team. Every year, is my understanding, there are some out-of-scope services, but last year was unusually large. One of the benefits of the coaching and that we expect to get through, that we will get through the PM GAP services should cover that. It will make us all more efficient. I know that's something that I'm looking forward to doing. But we're here today to request that, to cover those cost overruns. And again, they happen every year. As my understanding, obviously I wasn't here, but last year were larger than usual, and we expect to be able to cut down on that through the work we're going to get with the PM GAP team this year. The amount was actually significantly larger than $45,000. It was negotiated down to something both parties can agree on.
Okay, thank you, Director Greer. Any comments from the council?
Mr. Chair.
Madam Vice President.
Thank you. And once again, I've talked to Mr. Greer about this, and I can attest, as well as he can, the importance of making sure our audit's done correctly and making sure, everything's taken care of and it's completed at the highest level, and we need to take care of this as he's brought this issue before us. We've already talked about why we need assistance in the previous issue, so I would be happy to offer approving on consent to take care of this as well.
Okay, there's been approved on consent that's been
Mr.
offered. Councilwoman Toy.
I would hope, I won't be here, but I would hope some of this gets straightened out in that department as you move forward on it. We've paid a lot of good money in that department, and with things like this, I can understand laws changing, I can understand procedures changing. But this stuff is starting to cost this city a lot of money, and it would cost a lot more money if we don't do the audit correct. I get all that. But as I said to you earlier, I would hope you have some new ideas and practices in mind, sir, especially with your background. Because, no offense, to me, this is kind of upsetting. And I mean, if I ran my business this way, I wouldn't be in business today. And I'm not coming after you for any reason except, honestly, please, 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 don't cost the city all this and that every single time somebody loses their job or does whatever, or new laws change. Keep on top of it, please. That's all I'm asking you. Because I want my tax dollars to, and they have been used very well, don't get me wrong, but you being new, I think you have a great opportunity to change some things in this department for the better. Appreciate it. Thank
Will
you.
do my very best. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any additional, Councilman Bazinski?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate again to the residents out there that, our finance department, if I'm not mistaken, the 3 top positions, we did lose those employees, long-term employees, some of them, Debbie felt long-term, although she wasn't here for too long. And I think that in any department, that does create, a catastrophic kind of shift. And in the case of finance, where every single day you're dealing with numbers and money in and out and reporting, it creates an added strain. So, there are, I would say, unique circumstances to this year in particular in Livonia. And now that we have been, Mr. Greer, at the top of our finance department, will be able to fill in the gaps below and, right the ship and create a new course for how the finance department looks in the future moving forward, so that we don't have these unique circumstances that we're seeing on our agenda tonight.
Thank you, Councilman. Any additional comments from the council? We have a approving on consent. Director Greer, it's a tough first meeting for you. I know you're trying hard, and welcome to the city. I know the finance department, I understand the frustration of Councilman Toy and my colleagues. Livonia's got such a long track record of financial excellency because we've had a great finance team for so long, and we still do. But we're at that unfortunate point where you've been brought in to lead the ship when there's been some change here, and it's not easy, and there's such critical reporting requirements that the state and the federal government mandates on our people's tax dollars as they should. And with that being said, it costs us money to do that. And Livonia maintains the lowest city property tax, which is a great thing. At the same time, we have residents that, God bless them, they've been in their homes for 20, 30 years, and their taxable value is so low, and the city only brings in so much money, and you got to pay good people, and you've got to compete with other communities. And that is hard. The city, it's a tough thing. People want to get paid and be treated, right. And it's hard when you only have so much money to spend. And we've done a really great job of keeping our property taxes low and staying on top of our expenses. And I know you're going to do the same thing. And we've been fortunate to have good teams and good people. And this is a great first meeting for you. So thanks, Director Greer. Appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're going to go to the audience for item number 4. Any audience communication for item number 4? No audience communication for item number 4. We're going to go to item number 5, request to release general obligation limited tax bonds from the Department of Parks and Recreation for the purpose of paying for all or part of the cost of acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping improvements to Sheldon Park. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Benjamin Greer, Finance Director for the City of Livonia. The request today is to release $5 million in general obligation limited tax bonds. The purpose of the bonds is for acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping improvements at Sheldon Park. The city is working with the Plymouth Road Development Authority regarding the redesign of Sheldon Park. The bonds will be repaid jointly by the city and the PRDA, which is Plymouth Road Development Authority, with the city providing 55% of the repayment from budgeted funds, and from Parks and Recreations providing, with 45% coming from the city, coming from PRDA, and 55% coming from the city. The city's portion of the annual debt service is being made available from the retirement of previously issued debt. A notice of intent, as required by law, was published. The right of referendum period has expired. The PRDA did pay $350,000 to a company called DLZ for architectural and engineering and design services, and this will be reimbursed out of the proceeds of the $5 million bond issuance. The redesign of Sheldon Park includes new splash pads, playgrounds, sports field facilities, a walking pad, and a pavilion. Assuming things go as scheduled with the approval of these items, we can expect the bonds to go to market in March and proceeds of not long after that. The annual debt payment under the current interest rates is a total, it averages about $315,000 over a 25-year period. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time. We have Ted Davis from the Parks and Recs here, and we also have Tom Colas, bond counsel for Miller Canfield, to answer any questions that you may have.
Great, thank you, Director. Council, any questions? Councilwoman Budzinski.
I have no questions, just a lot of great excitement for this project. This is a signature park in our community, a long overdue project, when I know our director has worked very, very hard to see come to this point. I'm especially excited that we've looked to get creative in partnering with the PRDA and creating a a community resource that will attract, be a value to the neighborhood, but also help attract, I feel, new customers. That is the benefit to the businesses along Plymouth Road. I believe this will be a great attraction in addition to our city, so I'd like to offer an approving on consent if there's no objection from my
Okay,
colleagues.
there's been an approving on consent offered. Council, any additional questions? Councilwoman Toy.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. A couple questions or a couple comments. I own a business on Plymouth Road, and I want to say that I've been on that road for about 48 years, and I know I don't look 48, but yes. But in all seriousness, sir, I want to tell you, as I explore the possibility as we go through our land, what it's worth, our store, our brick and mortar, our business, all the kinds of things you do at a small business, I brag to people and say, we are spending almost $5 million, if not more, for a park. That's going to be a big improvement for that area. And so it's a real plus as we go through, the costs and the assets that we have as a business, as well as what's gone on with Bill Brown Ford. That has helped, I think, as Councilwoman Brzezinski pointed out, immensely along that road. We've been on that road for those full 48 years, and big improvement, really is, and my hat's off to you. I am concerned, though, about the whole area as we develop it, further, and that's for other councils, obviously, but I think if they're listening at home, and I know a couple of them are attending meetings, and are here to listen. I think it's a great use of PRDA money as well. And again, the bragging rights for a park such as this. The only question I would have is to Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, when I talk to residents in that area, and many of them are my customers, they ask me, why isn't there a pool? And I know you've answered this question before, but we'll get it back out there again, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us, please.
Absolutely, it's a great question.
Name for the record, please.
Sorry, Ted Davis for, Parks and Recreation. Thank you, Councilwoman Toy. It's a great question, and I wish we could have a pool. And we could, we just can't staff it. So the idea that, and first off, I would say, right off jump, if we're gonna renovate a pool, $5 million is not enough. Okay. Unfortunately. I mean, we built Clemens Circle almost 10 years ago at this point. I mean, that project was $1.6, $1.7 million. I would expect it to be at least double that at this point in time with construction costs. I would be happy to have a pool. We just don't have enough guards. I mean, we hire 150 guards. If we have both pools at the rec center open, we have Botsford open, we have Clemens Circle open, we don't have enough hours to go around, and that's been our primary problem. We've looked at, and I will say the other thing is, we hear consistently about having a free splash pad available. That's been something that we've heard for years and years and years, and this is an opportunity for us to give an amenity that really doesn't exist anywhere else in the city to the south end, along with pavilions, bathhouse, walking paths, fitness area, accessible playground, pickleball, tennis, soccer fields, ball diamonds. Again, this is a partridge in a pear tree, right? I mean, we're fitting a lot into a 19-acre site, and I'm overjoyed and excited for the project, the designs that DLZ has done in conjunction with Parks and Recreation, and the idea that this is going to be, other than Ben Chilani, which was really, this will be the first designed complete park we've ever had in the community. So we're excited to bring that amenity. And we have bids coming back here in the beginning of December, and I'll be before council with a new council asking to award for a GC for that. So we're excited about this project.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I just wanted that to get out, back out to the community again. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other additional questions from the council? Mr. Davis, great job to your team and to the PRDA. I love the collaboration between Parks and Rec and the PRDA, Mr. Tormina. I think this is a good thing to.
We are very thankful for PRDA and Bill Brown Ford.
And Bill Brown Ford, to the audience, Bill Brown Ford donated $100,000 to Sheldon Park improvements. I think this is a great thing towards Councilman Toy's points, you know, improving the PRDA corridor is important, and I'm looking forward to this park. I know a number of council members, you know, especially Councilman Bazinski, has been pushing hard for the parks in our community, and I know your team has been working very hard to give a lot of attention to those parks, so thank you, sir. Any comments from the audience on item number 5? All right, we're going to go to you. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the
Hi,
record. You have
Cindy
2 minutes,
Fleming,
please.
Livonia. Just as a point of transparency, I guess, I did attend Councilwoman Budzinski's Saturday, where she had Mr. Davis present about the Sheldon Park. And there was some additional information that I would like to get out there. One is that he said at that time that the plan was now jumping up to $6 million. Another thing that he said was that there would be a free splash pad at the rec center. So when he says that a splash pad instead of a pool needs to be done at Sheldon to provide the city with a free splash pad, it's kind of a little bit misleading, in my opinion. When I reviewed, and a lot of people reviewed the city budget and the valuation of the pools in the city, I believe that the Sheldon pool came in at a greater valuation than the Clemens Circle pool. So it was valued as an asset to the city at a higher amount. So it wouldn't be recreating a pool, it would be renovating a pool that already had, if I remember correctly, a higher value than the Clemens Circle pool in the building. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. Name and address for the record, 2 minutes.
Sure. Eileen McDonald, Livonia, Michigan. I would just like to bring to council's attention that in your packet today, the renderings from DLZ, which was proposal number S061625, which was dated December 20th, 2024. Page 7, Project 2, does not have Noble on there at all. So anyway, it's a parking lot, and if you have an answer for that, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional audience communication? Any additional audience communication? Okay, no more audience communication on number 5. I will note that we are not voting on a site plan or a park plan this evening. We were just talking about the bond and the dollars and cents, so that will eventually come back to council. There'll be continued conversation. I remember when we were talking about this a few months ago, Mr. Davis did make a remark that the former Noble Library building is not a part of Parks and Recreation. That's not a part of your department. You are only working on the park, Sheldon Park proper, so you have no authority over that now closed down building. Council, any additional, Councilwoman Bazinski?
Yeah, I just, since we're talking about parks and pools and splash pads, I do want to say that I very much, I can understand people's disappointment in losing a pool, but I think it's important to note that most communities don't have a public pool at all. We do have 2 public outdoor pools that are wonderful. I spend a lot of time there in the summer with my kids. I will also say that having a free splash pad is also an incredible amenity. It's slightly more frequently, more easily found across Southeast Michigan, but we don't find it here. Westland has one, and it is a pay splash pad. So splash pads, parents with small kids can go very easily and just let them run around and go back in the car. Going to the pool is a trip. It is a plan you gotta make. It's a commitment you're making for a few hours. This is a true amenity, one that particularly families will enjoy. And so while we are losing something, I think we are also gaining something really wonderful as well, that a lot of people that I talk to are looking forward to and appreciate. So thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you. Any additional comments from the council? Okay, we are moving on to item number 6, request to approve a contract amendment with Tivity Health, Department of Parks and Recreation, to continue providing Silver Sneakers memberships at the Jack E. Kirksey Recreational Center. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Donovan. Ted Davis, representing Parks and Recreation. We're bringing forward a Silver Sneakers. This is the Silver Sneakers program. It's conducted with Tivity Health. We are renegotiated our existing contract and raised our per visit fee up from $2.50 to what will be, if this is approved, to $3.25. Our monthly cap from $20 per month up to $26 per month. This is a 3-year agreement, and we are happy to continue providing this service to the community. So this would be in effect until April 30th, 2029. And I'm happy to answer any questions council may have on this.
Thank you, council. Any questions?
Approving on consent.
There's an approving offer on consent. Council, any additional conversation? Anything from the audience? Any audience communication? Name and address for the record. 2 minutes, please.
Denise Micah, Livonia. I would request that the Silver Sneaker membership not be just the matinee. I mean, I don't think they're going to be there at 8 o'clock at night, but maybe sometimes people are having a hard time with their doctor's appointments, and they can be there in the afternoon where till 5, that why couldn't they have an open membership? They're going to be paying for that. Why do they have to just have a matinee membership? Because they have different things to do too. All right? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional audience communication on item number 6? Okay, council, any additional comments? Okay, we're moving on to item number 7, request to approve a sublease agreement between the City of Livonia and the Livonia Civic Arenas, Department of Parks and Recreation, Devonair and Eddie Edgar Arenas for the term of August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2031, with an additional 5-year extension. Good evening, sir.
Thank you again, Councilman Donovan. Ted Davis, representing Parks and Recreation. We're asking for a new sublease agreement between the City of Livonia and Livonia Civic Arenas to operate Eddie Edgar and Devonair Ice Arenas. We've made a few changes to the lease that has been in place for the last 10 years, and this is to combat ongoing capital needs in our facilities. The major changes are, before the increase, the yearly increase was capped either 4% or CPI, whichever was less. Our requested change is 5% or CPI, whichever is greater. We are then asking for a $25 per hour surcharge that will go directly to capital needs throughout in both facilities. And then we are asking to remove the lease payments of $2,000 per month that would be paid to Parks and Recreation for Eddie Edgar Ice Arena. And this new agreement would begin August 1st of 26 and conclude July 31st of 31. It's weird to even say that out loud, 2031. We're asking, again, LCA has been an outstanding partner. We're very happy they wish to continue the arrangement. I believe there's been good services provided, but our arenas have work to be done in them. Eddie Edgar does new roofs, new Zambonis, significant list of capital needs, and this goes directly to addressing those needs. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have.
Thank you, sir. Council President McCullough.
Thank you. Just even give some context to even my council colleagues that hockey, when the Red Wings were really good back in the 2000s, even 97, we had in the house division, right? We would have 5 teams in each division, each age group, and that was for house. We're lucky to have 1 now. And so the youngsters that you've seen in here, that's part of some of our travel teams. And so Livonia Hockey Association, along with a lot of other associations, a lot of them have kind of went away just because of the costs and everything. And we have Mr. Long here who helps us on pretty much every different vantage point in the city. It's a great asset. But the work that they do is incredible. LCA, and then obviously I'm on the board with the Livonia Hockey Association, but we're in a position right now to, it's a seller's, we have to sell the program to get the enrollment up, and I think we've done a really good job. You guys have done a great job. LCA has been doing awesome. They've got a guy named Justin Feldman, and I'm sure he's probably not watching this right now, but he's a gem. And along with Mr. Glenn and all the people that are on the LCA board, hands down, thank you for keeping the ship up. There are companies out there that are buying up ice arenas, and I'm not naming their names because I never want to hear that name in Livonia. But if you've ever been to different ice arenas, some of them are very intriguing. I just played that one this weekend, and I'm happy to say that both our barns are awesome, or three of them, should we say. So we keep them in great order. The association's pairing right up, so I hate to belabor this, but I'd love to offer an approving on consent and celebrate the fact that you guys are incredible people and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's an approving on consent. Councilman Morgan and then Councilman Toy.
Yeah, Mr. Davis, I just have a quick question. Since we're removing the $2,000 lease per month, what does that translate to? What is going to be the, just the overall? Is it going to be $110,000 per year? Just, that's it? Or is, I just wanted a little bit of clarification on exactly how we're going to recoup these funds.
Which funds are you speaking of? I'm
Well,
sorry.
it says in here, remove $2,000 a month lease payments to Parks and Recs.
Yes,
How is that going to be replaced?
it's not.
So we're just relieving them of that, and where
Even
is?
that, with the idea that they're again going to invest in these buildings, we're trying to give them every dollar we can to invest in both of the facilities.
Okay, so where exactly, so their objective is just to take whatever the money they have and put it back into our facilities?
Correct.
Okay, and it's written somewhere, I'm assuming that that's
Yep.
how that works. Okay, I just want a little clarification on that because I'm not quite sure what, how that money is going to be replaced, so, okay, very well, thank you.
Councilman Toy.
Thank you to Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, thank you very much for all the work on this. These are so important. I was on council when the first one came along and we leased Livonia way back then, and we weren't sure what safe ground we were on, but it's been fantastic from what I understand. I'm not a hockey fan, but
I won't tell if you won't.
well,
You're a hockey fan.
well, I'm a hockey fan, yeah. I wore a T-shirt to my first hockey game for Brandon, and I froze. But
cold.
other than that, yeah, it's a little cold.
There's ice in there.
Yes, sir. I didn't realize how cool it really was. And second of all, I wanted to mention our gymnastic program really went wild too. When we have the old timers like Mary Lou Retton and those types, and when the gymnastics kind of met its peak as well, we couldn't keep enough gym equipment and people and coaches and whatever at those times. So that flow you've got to prepare for. So I give you a lot of credit for that because that's tough to navigate. It really is. And thank you again for all your fine work over at the Wellness Center, sir. I hope to see you over there.
I hope to be over there.
Yes, sir. I hope you are
Great.
too.
Any additional council comments for Director Davis? I do see Mr. Long back there. Do you want 2 minutes behind this dais? There you go, yeah. I just note Commissioner Long, Planning Commissioner Long, he's very involved in hockey in Livonia, so wanted to give you a shout out. Thanks for everything you do for hockey in Livonia.
I would say the last time we were here to do this, Glenn's girls were how old? 10? 9. And it was the highlight of the meeting. Now they are sophomores at
University.
Yeah, they're sophomores, and it is frightening to think that 10 years has passed.
Yeah, well, I understand that, and to the council president's point, Livonia has very unique ice arenas, and to your point, they're family friendly, right? They feel locally owned. They're not.
You're part of the we're a hockey town.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go.
Yeah, they feel locally owned as opposed to some of the other arenas out there that are bought by large corporations, and there's just a different ambiance, and that is in large part to Livonia's hockey town. Long and your team, Glenn, and just everyone else that makes Livonia Hockey Town. So great job to everyone there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to be going to the audience for any comments on this item.
Since I didn't get to speak, I waited so long, I gotta say something. Glenn Long, Eddie Edgar Arena, Livonia Civic Arenas, 33841, Linden. The only thing I wanted to get up here, just to correct the record for Mr. McCullough, in the heyday, we had 12 teams at the house levels, not 5.
I know.
But the current iteration of the LHA board is really working hard to improve that. And we did kind of have things going ebbs and flows, and we did have some rocky days. And the new LHA board is a very impressive entity, so it's in good hands.
It's been doing very well, but with your support as well.
I was asked to become the LCA president for 1 year in 2014 because the LHA used to run the arenas, and USA Hockey didn't like the fact that when you ran an arena, you had to sell ice to non-USA Hockey entities. So there was a problem with them in Maha. So they said, well, we need to create a new nonprofit. We created Livonia Civic Arenas. Can you come out of retirement to run it for 1 year? So it's been a long year since 2014.
See you in a decade. I love that, Jay.
You don't know how to count.
I have a whole closet full of these, Brandon. So thank you. Keep up the good work. I appreciate all your work.
Thank you, Coach Long, Commissioner Long. Any additional comments from the audience? No additional comments on item number 7. Moving on to number 8, request for authorization to purchase 2 2026 John Deere Gators with various attachments and 1 John Deere utility tractor through the MI Deal Consortium from the Department of Public Works from 2026 budgeted funds. Good evening, sir.
Evening, Council. Doug Moore with DPW. Council, the department is looking to purchase 2 Gators and a tractor this spring. It's a utility tractor. The Gators will be replacing 2 that were purchased in 2017, and the tractor will be replacing 1 that was purchased in 2015. I actually haven't spoken with Doug Ware at the golf course yet, but usually what we do is trade some Gators around. They take a couple of the older ones that we are looking to get rid of, and the older ones that they have that we gave them before are the ones that go to auction. The equipment that is being replaced will be sent to auction, though. One of the Gators will be outfitted with a snowplow and a salt spreader for winter. The other one is going to be used by our roads division. And the tractor, I believe, is going out to Bicentennial Park to move around ball diamond, slag, and topsoil. The total price for all 3 units is $99,602.15. And with the state of Michigan pricing, that is 13% discount versus retail. And Hudson Equipment out of South Line will be the servicing dealer.
Great, thank you, sir. Council Vice President Tashik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do love the idea that you're going to rotate them to the golf course. That's great usage of that. And there's nothing more that I love than to offer an approving for Gators and tractors. So I will offer an approving on consent.
Thanks.
There is an
And thanks for
approving.
hanging out, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
There's an approving on consent. Council, any additional comments? No additional comments. Audience, any comments on item number 8? No additional comments. Good evening, sir.
Have a good night.
Congratulations, sir. Have a good one. Okay, item number 9, proposed 2026 City Council meeting schedule by none other than City Council President Brandon McCullough in accordance with the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, 1976, PA 267, as amended. Council President McCullough.
I'm just going to offer an approving on consent, because you know why? Our Ms. Kasperitz is incredible. She went through a lot of the stuff, and there were some synergies, and I said, sounds good to me. So if there was anything of an issue, I'll take the blame for it, but other than that, approving on consent.
I double-checked it for you.
Very good. There is an approving on consent offered by President McCullough. Council, any further discussion on that item? Audience, any discussion on item number 9? No audience communication on item number 9. We're going to go to the audience. Any additional audience communication for items not on this evening's agenda? Okay, no audience communication. Council, any additional remarks?
Well done.
Yeah, good
You
job,
did good.
Bob.
To adjourn.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, Mr.
Motion
President,
to
everyone.
adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I have a final motion.
I can safely show 7. There are no more discussion or business. Good evening, Livonia. Have a good one. Thank you for everything you do, and good night.
Hit it.